What if your fear, your anxiety, your sleepless nights, the worries that nobody knows about, could be lifted by just one ayah from the Quran? Sometimes the heaviest battles are the ones that happen inside the heart. A person can smile in front of everyone, continue with the daily life, talk normally, and still carry a storm inside. There are fears about the future, worries about failure, uncertainty about rizq, loneliness in quiet moments, and questions that keep the heart awake at night. But Allah knows every hidden tear, every silent pain, and every thought that crosses your mind. Before you even speak your worries, Allah already knows what your heart is carrying. There are moments in life when we feel like we have lost control. We try to plan everything, we try to protect ourselves from every possible hardship, but then life reminds us that we are weak and limited. The things we thought were secure can change. People we trusted can leave. Plans we worked hard for can fail. At those moments, the heart searches for something that cannot disappear, something that cannot betray us, something stronger than every fear. And that is when we return to Allah. Allah gives us a powerful reminder in the Quran through the words, Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa, ilayhi tawakkaltu, wa huwa rabbul arshil azim. Allah is sufficient for me. There is no deity except Him. Upon Him I have relied, and He is the Lord of the mighty throne. Surah At-Tawbah 9-129. These words are not just a phrase to repeat with the tongue. They are a declaration of faith from the heart. When you say, Hasbiyallahu, you are saying, Ya Allah, you are enough for me. You are reminding yourself that your strength does not come from your circumstances, your wealth, your position, or the approval of people. Your true strength comes from the one who controls everything. Think deeply about the meaning of, Allah is sufficient for me. It does not mean that life will never have difficulties. It does not mean you will never face tests, sadness, or challenges. Even the prophets of Allah faced the greatest trials. But it means that no matter what happens, you are never alone. When Allah is with you, even the hardest situation becomes something you can survive. The heart that depends on Allah may become tired, but it will never be destroyed. The words, Ilayhi tawakkaltu, remind us about the beauty of trusting Allah. Tawakkul does not mean sitting and doing nothing. It means you take the necessary steps, you make effort, you seek solutions, but your heart remains attached to Allah. You understand that results are not controlled by your efforts alone. The one who opens doors is Allah. The one who changes situations is Allah. The one who brings relief after hardship is Allah. Maybe today you are worried about something that has not even happened yet. Maybe you are carrying fear about tomorrow, about your family, your future, your health, or your dreams. But remember this, the same Allah who took care of you yesterday is the Allah who will take care of you tomorrow. Your future is not in the hands of people. Your future is not controlled by fear. Your future is under the command of the Lord of the mighty throne. And then Allah reminds us, Wa huwa rabbul arshil azim, and He is the Lord of the mighty throne. Imagine the power behind these words. The one you are trusting is not limited. He is not unaware of your situation. He is not too busy to hear your dua. He is the creator of the heavens and the earth, the owner of everything, the one whose command can change your entire life in a moment. So if this ayah reached you today, do not think it is just a coincidence. Perhaps your heart needed this reminder. Perhaps Allah is calling you back to Him, reminding you that you do not have to carry every burden alone. The fear that has been living inside your chest, the anxiety that has stolen your peace, and the worries that have exhausted your heart can be placed in the hands of Allah. Repeat these words with sincerity, Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa. Let your heart feel them. Allah is enough for me. Allah sees me. Allah knows me. Allah will not abandon me. When the world feels uncertain, return to the one who never changes. When your heart feels heavy, return to the one who gives peace. When you feel weak, remember that you are connected to the one who has unlimited power. Because true peace does not come when everything in life becomes perfect. True peace comes when your heart knows that Allah is in control. And when Allah is enough for you, no fear is greater than His mercy, no problem is bigger than His power, and no darkness can overcome the light that comes from trusting Him. Fear is one of the strongest emotions Allah has placed inside human beings. It can protect us, remind us to be careful, and push us to prepare for the future. But when fear takes control of the heart, it can become a heavy burden. It can make a person lose sleep, constantly worry, and imagine problems that have not even arrived. The mind starts creating endless questions. What if I fail? What if I lose everything? What if tomorrow is worse than today? And slowly, the heart becomes exhausted from fighting battles that exist only in our thoughts. Many people today carry the fear of losing the job, losing financial stability, or not knowing where their next opportunity will come from. A person may wake up every morning with anxiety about their responsibilities, their family, and their future. They may work hard, but inside they feel uncertain because they believe their entire security depends only on their own ability. They forget that the one who provided for them yesterday is the same one who can provide for them tomorrow. Some people carry the fear of losing relationships. They fear being abandoned, forgotten, or rejected. They become attached to people in a way that makes their heart constantly afraid of change. But human beings are limited. People can change, situations can change, and circumstances can change. The only one who never changes is Allah. When the heart depends completely on creation, it becomes fragile because creation itself is fragile. But when the heart depends on the Creator, it finds a strength that cannot be taken away. Fear of the future is another struggle that silently affects many hearts. We want to know what will happen tomorrow. We want guarantees before we take steps. We want to see the entire road before we move forward. But Allah does not ask us to know the unseen. Allah asks us to trust Him. The believer walks forward not because they know everything, but because they know who is guiding them. Overthinking is often a sign that the heart is trying to carry a responsibility that belongs to Allah. We think about every possibility, every outcome, every mistake, and every situation that could go wrong. We replay conversations, we imagine future problems, and we create fear from things that may never happen. The mind becomes trapped because it is trying to control what only Allah controls. This is why fear can disconnect us from peace. Fear makes us focus only on the problem and forget the one who has the power to solve it. Fear makes us look at the size of the difficulty instead of looking at the greatness of Allah. When the heart forgets Allah's power, even a small problem can feel impossible. But when the heart remembers Allah, even a major hardship becomes something that can be faced with patience and hope. Allah tells us in the Quran, unquestionably, by the remembrance of Allah hearts find rest. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. Notice that Allah does not say peace comes from having a perfect life. He does not say peace comes from having endless money, no problems, or complete control over every situation. Allah teaches us that true peace comes from remembering Him. Because the heart was created to be connected to its Creator, nothing in this world can fully satisfy a heart that is searching for Allah. Fear grows when we rely only on ourselves. When we believe everything depends on our own strength, our own planning, and our own control, we become overwhelmed. We carry the weight of the entire future on our shoulders. But peace comes when we rely on Allah. When we say, Ya Allah, I will do my best, but I trust your plan more than my own understanding. Tawakkul does not remove responsibility, it removes the burden of thinking we control everything. You still work, you still plan, you still make effort, but your heart is calm because you know the final result belongs to Allah. You know that if a door closes, Allah can open another. If something leaves your life, Allah can replace it with something better. If a path becomes difficult, Allah can create ease from places you never expected. Maybe today you are carrying a fear that nobody knows about. Maybe you are worried about your future, your family, your career, or something hidden deep inside your heart. Remember this, Allah knows exactly what you are facing. The same Allah who protected Prophet Ibrahim from the fire, who saved Prophet Yunus from the darkness of the ocean, and who supported Prophet Musa when he faced his greatest fear, is the same Allah who is watching over you. Do not allow fear to become bigger than your faith. Your worries may be real, your challenges may be difficult, but Allah's mercy is greater. Your situation may be uncertain, but Allah's knowledge is complete. Your path may not be clear, but Allah's guidance is perfect. So whenever fear enters your heart, return to this powerful reminder. Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa, ilayhi tawakkaltu, wa huwa rabbul arshil azim. Allah is enough for me. I trust Him. I leave my worries with Him. The one who controls the heavens is taking care of my life. And when the heart truly understands this, fear slowly loses its power, and peace begins to return. Hasbiyallahu, Allah is sufficient for me. These three words carry a meaning so powerful that they can transform the way a person sees life. They are not just words of comfort, they are words of complete trust, surrender, and certainty. When a believer says, Hasbiyallahu, they are reminding their heart that the one who created them is enough for every situation they face. The one who knows their past, their present, and their future is enough. The one who controls what they cannot control is enough. Think about how much energy we spend trying to control everything. We want to control people's opinions about us. We want to control the future. We want to control every outcome. We want every plan to go exactly as we imagined. But the reality of life teaches us again and again that we are not in control. No matter how much we plan, there will always be things beyond our ability. And sometimes Allah allows us to reach those moments so we realize that our hearts were depending on something limited instead of depending on Him. Hasbiyallahu means you no longer have to carry the weight of believing that everything depends on you. You are not the provider of everything. You are not the controller of every result. You are not the one who opens every door. You are a servant of Allah who makes effort, but the one who creates the outcome is Allah. Imagine a child walking through a difficult place while holding the hand of a loving parent. The child may not understand the road. The child may see things that create fear. But because they trust the person holding their hand, their heart feels safe. In a much greater way, when a believer holds on to Allah through faith and trust, the difficulties of life become easier to carry. The road may still be challenging, but the heart knows it is not walking alone. Many times, our biggest source of stress is not the problem itself. It is the feeling that we must solve everything by ourselves. We think, if I cannot fix this, everything is over. We forget that Allah can change situations in ways we could never imagine. A door that seems permanently closed can open. A difficulty that feels impossible can become the reason for growth. A loss that breaks your heart can become the beginning of something better. When you truly understand, Hasbiyallahu, you begin to see your problems differently. Your problems may still exist, but they no longer control your heart. You may still face challenges, but you no longer feel helpless. Because your confidence is not built on your own strength, it is built on the strength of Allah. Look at the lives of the prophets. Prophet Ibrahim was thrown into the fire by his people. From a human perspective, there was no escape. Every path seemed closed. But Ibrahim had Allah. His heart was not attached to the power of people. His heart was attached to the power of Allah. The fire that was meant to destroy him became a place where Allah's protection appeared. This is the beauty of relying on Allah. Sometimes Allah does not remove the test immediately because He wants to show you His support during the test. Sometimes the miracle is not that the storm disappears instantly. Sometimes the miracle is that Allah gives your heart strength to remain standing while the storm is still happening. Now ask yourself, what if you truly believed that Allah is enough? What if you woke up every morning knowing that your rizq is already written by the one who never forgets you? What if you knew that the opinions of people cannot harm you unless Allah allows it? What if you understood that every closed door and every unexpected change is happening under the wisdom of the Most Merciful? How would your heart feel? Would you still carry the same amount of anxiety? Would you spend so many nights worrying about tomorrow? Would you feel so broken by what people say or do? Maybe the situation would remain the same, but your heart would become different because your heart would finally understand who is truly in control. Hasbiyallahu does not mean you stop trying. It means you stop depending only on your effort. You work, but you trust Allah. You plan, but you surrender the result to Allah. You seek solutions, but you know the ultimate solution comes from Allah. The heart that says, Hasbiyallahu, is a heart that has found freedom. It is free from constantly seeking approval from people. It is free from being destroyed by uncertainty. It is free from the fear that comes from thinking everything depends on human beings. Because when Allah is enough for you, even when you lose something, you know you have not lost everything. Even when a path closes, you know Allah can create another path. Even when your heart feels weak, you know the strength of Allah is greater than your weakness. So repeat it slowly, not only with your tongue but with your heart. Hasbiyallahu, Allah is enough for me. Allah is enough for my fears. Allah is enough for my worries. Allah is enough for my unanswered questions. Allah is enough for my future. Allah is enough for everything my heart cannot carry alone. And when a person truly believes this, they discover a peace that the world can never give. La ilaha illa huwa, there is no deity except Him. These words are the foundation of faith. They remind the heart that there is only one who truly deserves our dependence, our worship, our hope, and our ultimate trust. When we say, La ilaha illa huwa, we are declaring that nothing in this world has the power that belongs only to Allah. No person, no wealth, no position, no achievement, and no worldly possession can take the place of Allah in the heart. Many times, we do not realize how much we depend on things other than Allah. A person may believe they trust Allah, but deep inside their heart, they may feel their security comes from their job, their savings, their reputation, or the people around them. They think, as long as I have this person, I will be okay. They think, as long as I have this income, I will be safe. They think, as long as people respect me, I will have value. But Allah teaches us through La ilaha illa huwa that these things are temporary. They can benefit us, but they cannot become our foundation. They can support us, but they cannot become the source of our peace. The moment the heart attaches itself completely to something that can disappear, fear enters the heart. Think about the things people fear losing the most. Some fear losing their wealth. Some fear losing their position. Some fear losing someone they love. Some fear losing their success or reputation. These fears are natural because we are human beings. But the problem begins when we believe that losing these things means losing our happiness, our worth, or our ability to continue. The truth is deeper than that. Everything you fear losing was never your real source of security. Your real source of security was always Allah. Your job is a blessing from Allah, but it is not the one who provides. Your money is a gift from Allah, but it is not the one who sustains you. People in your life are blessings from Allah, but they are not the one who protects your heart. Everything we have is a means, but Allah is the one behind every means. When Prophet Ibrahim stood against his people and rejected the idols they worshipped, he was teaching humanity a powerful lesson. Those idols had no power. They could not create, protect, or provide. They were only objects. But sometimes human beings create their own idols without realizing it. Not idols made of stone, but attachments of the heart. A person's idol may be money. Another person's idol may be status. Another person's idol may be the approval of others. They spend their entire life chasing these things, believing that once they have them, they will finally feel complete. But after achieving them, they discover that the heart is still searching. Why? Because the heart was not created for the creation. The heart was created for the Creator. Allah placed a space inside every human being that only He can fill. You can fill your life with achievements, possessions, and relationships, but if Allah is missing from the heart, there will always be a feeling of emptiness. La ilaha illallah teaches us to return our hearts to where they belong. It teaches us that people may help us, but only Allah can truly save us. People may love us, but only Allah can give our hearts complete peace. People may stand beside us, but only Allah is with us in every moment, every place, and every situation. This does not mean we stop loving people or appreciating blessings. Islam teaches us to value the gifts Allah gives us. But we must never allow the gift to become greater in our hearts than the one who gave the gift. Imagine someone holding a beautiful gift in their hands but forgetting the person who gave it to them. The gift is valuable, but the giver is more valuable. In the same way, every blessing in our life should remind us of Allah, not distract us from Him. Many anxieties come because we fear losing things that were never guaranteed to remain forever. People change, circumstances change, wealth increases and decreases, opportunities come and go, but Allah remains, His mercy remains, His knowledge remains, His power remains. When the heart understands, La ilaha illallah, it becomes stronger. It no longer breaks completely when something leaves. It may feel sadness, but it does not lose hope. It may experience pain, but it does not lose faith. Because it knows that the one who gave before can give again, and the one who removed something has wisdom that we may not understand yet. Ask yourself deeply, what am I depending on more than Allah? What am I afraid of losing more than I fear losing my connection with Allah? Where does my heart run first when I am afraid? These questions are not meant to make us feel hopeless. They are meant to wake our hearts. Sometimes Allah allows us to lose attachments because He wants us to discover Him. Sometimes He removes something we depended on because He wants us to realize that He was the only one we truly needed. The strongest heart is not the heart that has everything. The strongest heart is the heart that knows Allah is enough even when everything changes. So when fear enters your heart, remember, La ilaha illallah, there is no one like Allah. There is no protector like Allah. There is no provider like Allah. There is no source of peace except Allah. When your heart is connected to Him, you may lose things in this world, but you will never lose the one who owns everything. After declaring that Allah alone deserves our dependence, the ayah teaches us the next step, Alayhi tawakkaltu, upon Him I have relied. Tawakkul is one of the most beautiful states of the believer's heart. It means placing your complete trust in Allah while knowing that He is the one who controls the outcome. It is the balance between effort and surrender. You do what you can, but your heart rests with Allah. Many people misunderstand trust in Allah. They think relying on Allah means not taking action. But true tawakkul is not laziness. The bird that leaves its nest every morning looking for food is an example of effort and trust. It moves, it searches, it works, but it knows that Allah is the provider. You prepare for your future, but you trust Allah with your future. You work for your goals, but you trust Allah with the results. You seek solutions, but you know Allah is the one who creates success. The reason anxiety becomes so heavy is because we often carry tomorrow before it arrives. We try to control every possibility. We worry about things Allah has not even written for us. Tawakkul teaches the heart to say, Ya Allah, I have done what I can. Now I leave what I cannot control in your hands. This is where true peace begins. Because the heart was never created to carry the weight of controlling the entire universe. That responsibility belongs only to Allah. When you rely upon Allah, you realize that delays are not always rejection. Closed doors are not always punishment. Difficult moments are not always signs that Allah has forgotten you. Sometimes Allah is protecting you from what you cannot see. Sometimes Allah is preparing something better than what you were asking for. A heart that has tawakkul does not panic when life changes. It knows that Allah's plan is greater than its own understanding. So repeat this beautiful ayah with faith. Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa, alayhi tawakkaltu. Allah is enough for me. There is no one worthy of my ultimate trust except Him. Upon Him I rely. With Him I find peace. Wa huwa Rabbul Arshil Azim, and He is the Lord of the mighty throne. These final words of the ayah bring the heart to the greatest reality. The one you are trusting is not weak, limited, or unaware. The one you depend upon is the Lord of the mighty throne. He is the owner of everything that exists. He controls the heavens and the earth, the visible and the invisible, the things we understand and the things beyond our understanding. When Allah describes himself as the Lord of the mighty throne, he is reminding us of his absolute greatness and power. The throne of Allah is the greatest of all creation, beyond anything the human mind can imagine. The entire universe, with all its galaxies, stars, oceans, mountains, and countless creatures, is under the command of Allah. Nothing happens outside his knowledge. Nothing escapes his wisdom. Nothing is too difficult for him. Now think about your worries for a moment. The thing keeping you awake at night, the problem that feels impossible, the situation that makes your heart feel heavy, compare it to the greatness of the one who controls everything. Sometimes our fear becomes so large because we look only at the problem and forget the greatness of Allah. A person may say, my situation is impossible, but what is impossible for Allah? A person may say, there is no way out, but Allah is the one who created paths where there were no paths. A person may say, nobody can help me, but Allah can send help from places you never expected. Look at the story of Prophet Musa. He stood in front of the sea with an enemy behind him. From a human perspective, there seemed to be no escape. The people with him said, we are sure to be overtaken. But Musa had something greater than the fear in front of him. He had certainty in Allah. He said, no, indeed, with me is my Lord, he will guide me. Surah Ash-Shura 26-62. And Allah opened a way through the sea. This is the lesson of trusting the Lord of the mighty throne. The same Allah who controls the oceans can control your situation. The same Allah who changed impossible moments for his prophets can change your life. The same Allah who hears the smallest creature in the darkest place can hear the hidden pain inside your heart. Sometimes we fear because we forget who is in control. We fear losing our job, but Allah is our Razak, the provider. We fear losing people, but Allah is Al-Wali, the protector and guardian. We fear the future, but Allah already knows what tomorrow holds. We fear what people can do to us, but people have no power except what Allah allows. The heart becomes peaceful when it understands that nothing happens randomly. Every event occurs under the knowledge and wisdom of Allah. Even the things we dislike can contain hidden mercy. Even the delays can carry protection. Even the hardships can bring us closer to him. Ask yourself deeply, if Allah controls the entire universe, why are you afraid of anything? If Allah controls the movement of the planets, the falling of rain, the changing of seasons, and every heartbeat in every living creature, do you think he cannot handle your problem? If Allah can create everything from nothing, do you think your difficulty is too big for him? The problem is not that Allah lacks power. The problem is that sometimes our hearts forget his power. That is why this ayah begins by saying, Hasbi-Allahu, Allah is enough for me. Then it says, La ilaha illa huwa, there is no one except him. Then it says, Ilayhi tawakkaltu, upon him I rely. And finally, it reminds us, Rabbul, Arshal, Azim, he is the Lord of the mighty throne. It is as if Allah is teaching the heart a journey. First, know that Allah is enough. Then remove your dependence on everything besides him. Then place your trust in him. Then remember his greatness and power. When you truly understand this, your heart begins to change. You stop looking at life only through the eyes of fear. You start looking through the eyes of faith. The believer still faces difficulties. The believer still feels sadness. The believer still experiences moments of weakness. But deep inside, there is a certainty that cannot be destroyed. My Lord is greater than my problems. My Lord is stronger than my fears. My Lord is wiser than my understanding. My Lord is the owner of everything. So when anxiety comes, remember the Lord of the mighty throne. When your heart feels overwhelmed, remember the one who holds all creation. When you feel like you have no control, remember that Allah has never lost control. The world may change around you, but Allah remains the same. Your situation may change, but Allah's power never decreases. People may leave, but Allah is always near. And when the heart truly believes that the Lord of the mighty throne is watching over it, fear begins to disappear and a beautiful peace begins to enter. Fear is not always created by the size of the problem. Sometimes fear becomes powerful because of the weakness of our connection with Allah. A small problem can feel like a mountain when the heart feels distant from the one who controls everything. But a huge problem can become easy to carry when the heart is connected to Allah and filled with trust in him. Many times, we ask ourselves, why am I still afraid even though I believe in Allah? The answer is that faith is not only something we know with our minds, it is something that must live inside our hearts. A person may know that Allah is powerful, but when a difficulty comes, their heart may still run first toward fear instead of running toward Allah. A weak connection with Allah can make the heart feel alone. When a person spends less time remembering Allah, less time making dua, less time reading the Quran, and less time reflecting on his greatness, the heart slowly loses its source of strength. Just like a plant becomes weak without water, the heart becomes weak without remembrance of Allah. This does not mean that a believer will never feel fear. Even the prophets experienced difficult emotions. Prophet Yaqub felt deep sadness. Prophet Musa faced moments of fear. But the difference is that their fear did not disconnect them from Allah. Their hardships pushed them closer to Allah. Sometimes fear remains because our tawakkul is incomplete. We say we trust Allah, but our hearts still try to control every outcome. We make dua, but we continue carrying the burden as if Allah will not take care of it. We ask Allah for help, but inside we believe everything depends only on our own strength. True tawakkul means understanding your position. You are the servant, and Allah is the Lord. You make effort, but Allah creates results. You plan, but Allah decides what is best. You take the steps, but Allah controls the destination. Many people become exhausted because they are trying to do the job of Allah. They are trying to control the future, control people's decisions, control every possibility, and guarantee every outcome. But Allah never asked us to carry that responsibility. He asked us to trust Him. Another reason fear becomes strong is because of our attachment to dunya. We start believing that this world is our permanent home. We become so attached to our possessions, our achievements, our relationships, and our status that losing them feels like losing everything. But Allah reminds us that this dunya is temporary. Everything in this world has an ending. Wealth can disappear, health can change, people can leave, situations can turn, but Allah remains forever. When the heart attaches itself too strongly to temporary things, fear naturally enters. Because deep inside, the heart knows those things can be taken away. But when the heart attaches itself to Allah, it finds stability because Allah never disappears. Think about what you fear losing the most. Is it your income, your position, someone's love, your success, your image in front of people? Now ask yourself, did these things create you? Did they give you life? Did they protect you before you even knew they existed? No, Allah did. Every blessing you have came from Allah. Every door that opened came from Allah. Every moment of protection came from Allah. So why should your heart depend more on the blessing than the one who gave the blessing? Your fear is not because your problem is big, it's because your trust feels small. When the heart truly knows Allah, problems become smaller. Not because the problems disappear immediately, but because the heart discovers a power greater than every problem. A person with weak trust looks at the storm and says, how will I survive this? A person with strong trust looks at Allah and says, the one who controls the storm is with me. The same Allah who provided for you when you had nothing can provide for you again. The same Allah who guided you through past difficulties can guide you through this one. The same Allah who gave you strength yesterday can strengthen you today. So if you feel fear inside your heart, do not only ask, how can I remove this problem? Also ask, how can I strengthen my connection with Allah? Return to prayer, return to Quran, return to dhikr, return to sincere dua, not only when life becomes difficult, but because your heart needs Allah at every moment. Because the strongest protection against fear is not having a perfect life. The strongest protection is having a heart that knows, Allah is with me, Allah sees me, Allah knows my struggle, Allah is enough for me. And when Allah becomes enough for the heart, the things of this world lose their power to break it. The power of this ayah is not only in saying it with the tongue, its true power comes when the heart understands it, believes it, and lives by it. Many people repeat words of remembrance, but their hearts remain attached to fear because they have not allowed the meaning to enter deeply. The purpose of dhikr is not only to move the lips. The purpose is to transform the heart. When you repeat, Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa, ilayhi tawakkaltu, wa huwa rabbul arshil azim, you are reminding your heart of a reality that fear often makes you forget. Allah is enough for me. I am not alone. I am not abandoned. I am not carrying my struggles by myself. The one who controls everything is watching over me. Imagine a person carrying a heavy bag for many years. They become so used to the weight that they forget what it feels like to be free. Then someone comes and tells them, you do not have to carry this alone. Give this burden to me. At first, they may still hold on to it because they are afraid of letting go. This is how many of us are with our worries. We ask Allah for help, but we continue carrying the same fear in our hearts. This ayah teaches us to release that burden. When you say, Hasbiyallahu, you are saying, Ya Allah, I accept that you are enough for me. When you say, Ilayhi tawakkaltu, you are saying, Ya Allah, I trust your plan even when I cannot understand it. When you say, Rabbul Arshil Azim, you are reminding yourself that the one managing your life is the Lord of the mighty throne. The more you repeat it with understanding, the more your heart begins to change. At first, your fear may still be there. Your situation may not immediately change. The problem may still exist. But something inside you begins to become stronger. The heart starts moving from panic to patience, from anxiety to trust, from helplessness to hope. This is the beauty of remembrance. Allah does not always remove the test immediately, but He gives the believer strength to face the test. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not that the difficulty disappears, it is that Allah gives your heart peace while you are going through it. Make this ayah part of your daily life. Do not wait until a crisis arrives. Build your connection with Allah before the storm comes. A person does not prepare a shelter after the storm begins, they prepare before. In the same way, strengthen your heart with remembrance before difficulties appear. Start your morning by saying this ayah. Before you begin your responsibilities, remind yourself that your day is not controlled by fear, people, or circumstances. Your day is in the hands of Allah. When you wake up and worries about the future enter your mind, say, Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah is enough for me. When you worry about your rizq, say, Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah is the provider. When you feel lonely, say, Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah is near. When your heart feels overwhelmed by problems you cannot solve, say, Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah is in control. Make it part of your evening routine as well. Before sleeping, many people carry the worries of the entire day into their beds. They replay conversations, think about tomorrow, and imagine problems that may never happen. But the believer ends the day by returning everything back to Allah. Ya Allah, I have done what I can. The rest belongs to you. This is the peace of tawakkul. Living with tawakkul means you stop allowing fear to become the leader of your heart. You still work, you still plan, you still take responsibility, but you no longer allow uncertainty to destroy your peace because you know the final decision belongs to Allah. When anxiety comes suddenly, do not let your first reaction be panic. Let your first reaction be remembrance. Train your heart to return to Allah before returning to fear. The next time your mind says, what if everything goes wrong? Answer your heart with, Hasbiyallahu. The next time you think, I cannot handle this, remind yourself, Allah is enough for me. The next time you feel that you have no way forward, remember, the Lord of the mighty throne is taking care of me. The heart is shaped by what it repeatedly remembers. If you repeatedly remember your problems, fear grows. If you repeatedly remember Allah, faith grows. The more you repeat this ayah, the more your heart lets go. It lets go of the need to control everything. It lets go of the fear of what people think. It lets go of the anxiety about tomorrow. It lets go of the attachment to things that were never permanent. And slowly, the heart learns a beautiful truth. I do not need to know everything, because Allah knows everything. I do not need to control everything, because Allah controls everything. I do not need to fear everything, because Allah is enough for me. This is how one ayah can become a source of peace. Not because the words are magic, but because they reconnect your heart with the one who created your heart. The Quran does not only give us words of comfort, it gives us stories of people who lived those words. When we study the lives of the prophets, we discover that trust in Allah was not built during easy moments. It was built during moments when everything around them seemed impossible. Their hearts were tested, their situations were difficult, and their paths looked blocked, but they showed the world what true tawakkul looks like. One of the greatest examples is the story of Prophet Ibrahim. Ibrahim stood alone against his entire nation. He called them toward the worship of Allah and rejected the false gods they worshipped. He challenged the beliefs of his people because his heart was connected only to Allah. But when people could not defeat his message with words, they tried to defeat him with power. They gathered together and decided to throw Ibrahim into a massive fire. From a human perspective, there was no escape. A person standing in front of such a fire would naturally feel fear. The flames were real, the danger was real, the situation looked impossible, but Ibrahim had something greater than the fire. He had Allah. His heart was not attached to the strength of people. His heart was attached to the strength of the Creator. He knew that no harm could reach him except by the permission of Allah. He knew that the one who created fire could also control fire. This is the meaning of true trust. When people looked at the fire, they saw destruction. But Allah saw an opportunity to show His power and protection. Allah commanded, O fire, be coolness and safety upon Ibrahim. Surah Al-Anbiya 21-69. The same fire that was created to burn became a place of safety because Allah commanded it. This teaches us a powerful lesson: never judge your situation only by what your eyes can see. Your eyes may see a closed door, but Allah may be preparing an opening. Your eyes may see a difficulty, but Allah may be creating a blessing. Your eyes may see an ending, but Allah may be beginning something new. Sometimes we say, there is no way out. But Allah says, my power is greater than your understanding. Sometimes we say, this problem is too big. But Allah reminds us, I am greater than every problem. The same lesson appears in the story of Prophet Musa. Imagine the moment when Musa and the believers were escaping from Pharaoh. Behind them was a powerful enemy. In front of them was a huge sea. They were trapped between danger and an obstacle. The people with Musa looked around and became afraid. They said, indeed, we are to be overtaken. Surah Ash-Shura 26-61. From their perspective, there was no solution. They saw only the army behind them and the sea in front of them. But Musa saw something they could not see. He saw Allah. He responded with words filled with certainty. No, indeed, my Lord is with me, He will guide me. Surah Ash-Shura 26-62. Look at the strength of these words. He did not say, I know exactly how Allah will save us. He did not say, I can see the solution. He said, my Lord is with me. That is the heart of tawakkul. You may not know how Allah will solve your problem. You may not understand why something is happening. You may not see the path ahead. But you know the one who is guiding you. And when Allah is with you, impossible situations can change. Allah opened the sea for Musa. The water that seemed like an obstacle became the path to safety. The same place that looked like the end became the beginning of victory. This is the message Allah wants every believer to understand. Your situation is not controlled only by what you see. Your future is not controlled only by what people say. Your success is not controlled only by worldly reasons. Allah can change everything in a moment. A person may be struggling financially today, but Allah can open doors tomorrow. A person may feel lost today, but Allah can guide their heart tomorrow. A person may feel broken today, but Allah can bring healing in ways they never expected. The stories of Ibrahim and Musa teach us that faith does not mean we never face fear. Faith means fear does not control us. Fear may appear, but trust in Allah becomes stronger. When Ibrahim faced the fire, Allah was with him. When Musa faced the sea, Allah was with him. When you face your own struggles, Allah is also with you. Your test may look different from theirs. Your fire may be anxiety, hardship, loss, or uncertainty. Your sea may be a situation where you cannot see any solution. But the same Allah who protected His prophets is the one you worship today. So when life places you in a moment that feels impossible, remember. The one who made the fire harmless can change your hardship. The one who split the sea can open your way. The one who protected Ibrahim and Musa is still protecting His servants today. Say it with certainty. Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah is enough for me. Because when Allah is with you, no situation is truly impossible. One of the hardest lessons for the human heart is learning that we were never created to control everything. We spend so much of our lives trying to predict the future, protect ourselves from every possible pain, and make sure every outcome happens according to our plans. We think that if we can control everything, we will finally feel safe. But the reality is that control was never ours. Allah created us with the ability to make choices, to work hard, to plan, and to take action. But the final results have always belonged to Allah. The moment we forget this, we begin carrying a burden that was never meant for our shoulders. Think about how much stress comes from trying to control things we cannot control. We cannot control what people think about us. We cannot control every opportunity that comes our way. We cannot control every change that happens in life. We cannot control the future, but we can control something important. We can control our effort. We can control our choices. We can control our patience. We can control our connection with Allah. And after that, we leave the outcome to the one who knows what we do not know. This is the beauty of tawakkul. Tawakkul does not mean you stop trying. It means you stop believing that everything depends on your effort alone. You plant the seed, but Allah brings the growth. You take the step, but Allah opens the path. You make the dua, but Allah chooses the timing and the way it is answered. Many times, our fear comes because we want Allah's power but we still want our own control. We ask Allah to help us, but we struggle to surrender the situation to Him. We say, Ya Allah, I trust you, but our hearts remain attached to our own plan. True peace begins when the heart says, Ya Allah, I will do my best, but I trust your decision more than my own understanding. Because Allah sees what we cannot see. There are things we desperately wanted that would have harmed us. There are doors we cried over when they closed, but later we realized Allah was protecting us. There are situations we questioned at the time, but later we understood why Allah chose a different path. The believer does not know everything, but the believer knows who knows everything. Sometimes Allah places you in moments of fear, not because He wants to break you, but because He wants to bring you back to Him. Sometimes the heart becomes distant when life is easy. We become busy. We depend on ourselves. We forget to make sincere dua. We forget how much we need Allah. Then Allah allows a moment of difficulty to wake the heart. A moment where you realize your strength is limited. A moment where you realize people cannot solve everything. A moment where you finally raise your hands and say, Ya Allah, I need you. And that moment of returning to Allah can be more valuable than years of comfort without remembering Him. Look at the wisdom behind difficulties. Sometimes the thing we call a hardship is actually Allah opening a door to a deeper relationship with Him. The problem may not have come to destroy you. It may have come to redirect you. A person who never experienced weakness may never understand the sweetness of depending on Allah. A person who never felt lost may never appreciate the guidance of Allah. A person who never experienced hardship may never understand the peace that comes from trusting Him. So when something happens that you cannot control, do not let your heart drown in fear. Instead, ask, what is Allah teaching me through this? Where is Allah calling me back to Him? How can this difficulty bring me closer to my Creator? Remember, Allah is not asking you to control the entire journey. He is asking you to walk with Him through the journey. You do not need to know every detail of tomorrow. You do not need to have every answer today. You do not need to carry every possibility in your mind. You only need to trust the one who already knows everything. The ocean does not scare the believer who knows Allah controls the waves. The future does not terrify the believer who knows Allah already knows what is coming. The unknown does not destroy the believer who knows the unknown belongs to Allah. So release what was never yours to control. Release the need to know every outcome. Release the fear of what may happen. Place your effort in your hands and place your heart in Allah's hands. Because when you truly surrender to Allah, you discover something beautiful. You were never holding your life together by yourself. Allah was always holding you. And sometimes the fear you wanted Allah to remove was actually the path Allah used to bring you closer to Him. You, who is overthinking right now. You, who are lying awake at night, carrying thoughts that nobody knows about. You, who smile in front of people but inside your heart feels tired. This message is for you. Maybe there is something you have been carrying silently for a long time. A fear about your future. A worry about your family. A concern about your rizq. A pain from something that happened in the past. A question that keeps returning to your mind, will things ever become better? You may not have told anyone about it. You may have hidden it behind a smile. You may have told people, I'm okay, while your heart was asking Allah for help in the quiet moments. But remember this, Allah sees you. Before anyone understood your pain, Allah knew it. Before anyone noticed your struggle, Allah saw it. Before you even found the words to explain what was happening inside your heart, Allah already knew every detail. Allah knows the tears you wiped away when nobody was watching. Allah knows the prayers you made in silence. Allah knows the nights when your mind would not stop thinking. Allah knows the fears you cannot explain. And the beautiful thing is that Allah does not only know your pain, He has the power to change your situation. Sometimes we feel forgotten because the answer has not arrived yet. We wonder, Ya Allah, how long will I wait? We wonder why the door has not opened. We wonder why the difficulty remains. But a delay from Allah is not a sign that Allah has abandoned you. Sometimes Allah delays because He is preparing something better. Sometimes Allah delays because He is protecting you from something you cannot see. Sometimes Allah delays because He wants your heart to return to Him with more sincerity. Remember the prophets of Allah. Prophet Yusuf spent years away from his family. Prophet Ayah experienced deep hardship. Prophet Yunus found himself in complete darkness. But none of them were forgotten by Allah. Their situations changed because Allah was always aware. The same Allah who heard the dua of Yunus in the darkness of the ocean hears your dua today. The same Allah who restored Yusuf after years of difficulty can restore what is broken in your life. The same Allah who gave patience to Ayah can give patience to your heart. So do not let your current situation convince you that Allah is far away. Sometimes Allah is closest to you during the moments when you feel the weakest. When you have no strength left, Allah is still your strength. When you have no clear path, Allah is still your guide. When you feel alone, Allah is still with you. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what if the thing you are worried about is already under Allah's control? What if the door you are waiting for is already being prepared? What if the pain you are experiencing is slowly shaping you into a stronger believer? What if Allah is teaching your heart a lesson that you could never learn during times of ease? You do not have to understand everything today. You do not have to know how every problem will be solved. You only need to remember who is in control. The one who created the heavens and the earth is taking care of your life. The one who knows every leaf that falls knows every tear that falls from your eyes. The one who provides for every creature knows exactly what your heart needs. So breathe, and remember, Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah is enough for me. When your thoughts become heavy, return to Allah. When your heart becomes afraid, return to Allah. When you feel uncertain about tomorrow, return to Allah. Because tomorrow is not in the hands of your worries. Tomorrow is in the hands of Allah. And the one who has taken care of you until this moment will not abandon you now. Maybe you are waiting for Allah to change your situation. But perhaps Allah is also changing something inside you. Perhaps He is teaching your heart that peace does not come from knowing everything. Peace comes from knowing that Allah knows everything. So the heart that says, Ya Allah, I trust you, is a heart that has found a place of safety that this world cannot provide. You are seen by Allah. You are known by Allah. You are cared for by Allah. And no matter how heavy your heart feels today, remember, the Lord of the mighty throne is watching over you. As we come to the end of this reminder, take a moment to slow down. Forget everything around you for a few seconds. Forget the worries of tomorrow. Forget the things you cannot control. Bring your heart back to Allah. Because after everything we have discussed, there is one truth that remains. Allah is enough. Maybe your situation has not changed yet. Maybe the problem is still there. Maybe the answer to your dua has not arrived in the way you expected. But remember this, the greatest gift Allah can give you is not only changing your circumstances. Sometimes the greatest gift is changing your heart while you are going through those circumstances. A heart connected to Allah can find peace even in difficulty. A heart that trusts Allah can remain strong even when the future is unknown. A heart that remembers Allah knows that no hardship lasts forever. So today, leave your fears with Allah. Leave the worries you have been carrying. Leave the questions you cannot answer. Leave the pain that has been heavy on your heart. Give them to the one who is capable of everything. Raise your hands and make this dua. Ya Allah, remove our fear from our hearts. Ya Allah, remove the worries that have become heavy upon our souls. Ya Allah, replace our anxiety with peace, our sadness with hope, and our weakness with strength. Ya Allah, heal the hearts that are hurting silently. Ya Allah, for those who are worried about their future, give them certainty that their future is in your hands. Ya Allah, for those who are struggling with their rizq, open doors of provision that they never expected. Ya Allah, for those who feel lonely, remind them that you are always near. Ya Allah, remove our dependence on anything that takes us away from you. Ya Allah, make us people of tawakkul. Make our hearts trust you when we understand and when we do not understand. Make us remember you during ease and during hardship. Ya Allah, when we feel afraid, remind us that you are greater than our fears. When we feel lost, guide us. When we feel broken, heal us. When we feel weak, strengthen us. Ya Allah, make this ayah a source of light in our hearts. Hasbiyallahu la ilaha illa huwa, ilayhi tawakkaltu, wa huwa rabbul arshil azim. Make us truly believe that you are enough for us. Ameen. Remember, dear viewer, the world may change. People may change. Situations may change. Your plans may change. But Allah never changes. The one who protected you before will protect you again. The one who guided you before will guide you again. The one who carried you through your previous struggles will carry you through the struggles you face today. So when fear returns, return to this ayah. When anxiety returns, return to Allah. When your heart feels heavy, remember, you are not alone. Allah sees you. Allah knows you. Allah hears you. Allah is taking care of you. And above everything else, Allah is enough for you. ***. If this reminder touched your heart, don't scroll away. Take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who may need this message, and subscribe for more Quranic reminders that bring the heart back to Allah. Maybe someone today is silently fighting a battle, and this reminder could be the reason their heart finds hope again. May Allah fill our hearts with faith, peace, and complete trust in Him. Ameen.